Now we just scaled the consumer side. We had a lot of heartburn initially with failure rates and stuff like that. People abusing us, but we saw now it's much better. Now restaurants respect us with the business we give them, and they're scared that they'll go off the network. So we control quality that way. If they're not good, if they get complaints, they're off the network. So you have 10,000 restaurants on the site today. And every month roughly 400 go off.
Two questions I have. One is I'm curious to know in terms of how do you predict revenue in a market. I mean, we can say that you increase cities and your revenue improves.
Yeah.
But what happens in terms of, let's take Pune as an example, so how do you predict revenue in Pune city? That's question number one. And the second is, you don't control the quality and the food quality and the delivery, right? So there will be customer servicing issues or deficiency issues which crop up. So how, and I'm sure that also affects the brand as well, basically. So how do you manage, protecting your own brand while you don't control almost, I mean, you only control the interface between the customer and the restaurant. So these are the two questions.
So first, predicting revenues is an easier part still because we have order targets every month. So we say we're going to do X orders every month, a million orders or X, whatever is the number. So we plan that saying that this is what it's going to be. And then then it's done broken down like a top-down approach where we break that down saying that okay, Pune we're going to spend X in marketing, Delhi we're going to spend. These are the number of customers we need to acquire from this city. And that math is pretty easy actually in terms of breaking it down from a top-down approach, and this is the number of orders you need to hit. And where are you kind of underserved? So we have a heat map, we know where people are ordering from. So in Pune we have this map which it's a pretty sophisticated software backend which tells you which are the green spots and the red spots. So green spots are something which you completely utilize. So Aund, Koregaon Park, almost everyone would have their kind of known tasting and order from it. It's a very high density order volume for us. Which are underserved, we then look at whether we have restaurants there, whether we have the cuisines there. So there's a backend team which looks at, okay, we may not have a Chinese in Senapati Papur Road because of which customers are not coming. So then the Chinese restaurant is added. There's a lot of analytics which goes back in to understand where we want to grow. So marketing will be given a number, say, let's say 10,000 orders from Bangalore is what we need this month. So then they'll break it out saying that, okay, this is the locality where they need to get the orders from. Now they will go to the sales team and say, okay, do we have the restaurants to serve this? Then what is the offers we get from there? So it breaks down completely across teams from marketing, sales, content, tech, and then everything adds up. So that's the easier part, I would say, with the kind of software and processes which you've built. Second part, quality is similar to what he's saying, but the brand is affected, yes, as you said. And we are unique in the sense in the competing space in the same industry, we give a true care guarantee on Tasty Khana. So what we stick our neck out, we took this decision last year saying that if your food is not delivered in time, we give it free. Domino's revolutionized this in India, right? Pizza for free. Without us delivering, we said that we'll give it free, and that was one of the biggest decisions we took last year. And what we did here was learn from data that we know and eat some delivers in 20 minutes, or Domino's delivers in 30 minutes. So we will push these restaurants on top, and we have an automation of order processing with certain restaurants. So we have like 60% of our orders automation transmission. So we push these restaurants up in the search listing because see ours, the critical part is let's say you come and place an order on Tasty Khana. The chance of you getting food on time is when I get the order instantly to the restaurant. So if I have an automated order transmission, it goes instantly to the restaurant. So there's a lot of data which drives the quality. So we will push, so the restaurant which you will see on tops are automatically the ones which are good. And there's some shuffling always happening. Now we can't keep giving the same guys orders always. So some people will be guinea pigs unfortunately, wherein we'll get the new restaurants on top. And we will take certain commitments on saying that if you have problems, you're going to pay us. Because now that we are a stronger brand, especially in Pune, we really very strong in terms of restaurant. If they kind of screw up, they pay almost 3 times the order amount back to us. In Pune, we completely control them in terms of what we do. Other cities not like that because we're new. So we kind of now getting there, but once we are bigger, we kind of completely control the restaurants in that if you're not going to do this, we give you, so we have a rating algorithm for them also. We share a dashboard with them which says that okay, this is what this month you did, this is the number of orders which you delivered late, this is how your brand was affected, this is what you do. So someone who good understand this and take action. If you talk about a typical Shiv Sagar type restaurant who's not cared, घर में इतने लोग आ रहे हैं and restaurant में इतने लोग आ रहे हैं, like sir मेरे को ऐसा समझता नहीं है. So we don't even bother about it. We just keep him down the line. If someone wants to specifically eat from that restaurant, that's when we keep it. There's a lot of algorithms and technology which kind of drives both. That's the beauty of the business actually. It's a lot of back-end nuances which you have to fix.
Based on your experience, what would you suggest or advise? Should one get into business solo or is partnership critical? And if partnership is critical, then what are your learnings that you would like to share?
Personally, if you ask me, you should have a co-founder. I find it critical, but again, this is a relative question because it's a subjective answer kind of, because I'm sure there are single founders who are doing well. But for me, I think it's pretty critical that you have someone along with you, because for me, example, I had a colleague whom I did engineering with, and complete opposite of mine. So if you put him here, probably would have spoken 1/10 or 1/20 of what I do. He hates speaking. So he is a nerd geek in terms of coding. So that was a perfect foil for me, because I was out there meeting restaurants and he was building the software. So for me, it was a good fallback to have, and someone can talk to, right? You're going, there's so much madness in your head, you have frustrations, you need someone to talk to, and this is very rare you can speak to your parents or someone else or your friends. No one understands what you're doing. And there are two crazy people who are believing in something, then only those two crazy people can understand what you're doing. So that's how it works. So I personally feel you need to have someone along with you, at least one, if not two. So I think 3 is an ideal team, wherein you have complementary skills. But I wouldn't go solo. If you ask me again, if I'm going to do something else later, I'm not going to go solo. I'll always look for a co-founder.
My question to you is, suppose there is a very good brand in some district or so, and then it doesn't have a logistics attached to it.
Yeah.
So what would be, like, how do we motivate them to start with the logistics? One. Second question, what is the business model for such kind of newly coming companies when we are starting up? I'm not saying like a brand which have already grown in multi-folds like you, but the company, like for example, we are going and talking to your first company when you are going, what percentage of share you started with? Now you are saying 30%, but when you started, I don't know what you started with. So 2 questions.
Okay.
One, how do you motivate? And what would be the first thing which take care of all your other things coming out?
So we don't motivate. We have enough restaurants to deliver themselves. So we don't put any effort in motivating restaurants to start delivery. We don't do that. So we don't. There are enough restaurants out there whom we. So there are like 200,000 restaurants out there, 2 lakh restaurants who do delivery, and we are at 10,000 today. So we spend 0 efforts in motivating restaurants to start logistics. It's their own call, and they come to us today. So we get 100 odd leads every day from restaurants coming to us saying that we want to sign up with you. So first answer, we don't do anything of that. We have no process to motivate restaurants to start delivery. Second question, share of what? I didn't understand. Equity in the company or to the restaurants which we are giving business?
Business, like for example, 10% what you said, 30% you were talking about mainland China.
Not mainland China. I didn't name the restaurant.
Like
Yeah.
such kind of.
So
how do you make a proper business?
So I'm saying,
how do you pitch?
yeah. So we don't pitch. So we just grew the business for them so big. So customers started coming to us, and it was a popular brand. So let's say Domino's today, let's say it does 100 orders, example, every day, and today let's say we're giving 1 order to them. Now he will take me, okay, एक और बंदा कुछ कर रहा है. Let's say I grow to 40 orders out of 100. Does he not take me seriously? He will be worried in the sense that, okay, if this guy switches it off, I'm in a soup because my customers are coming through him and I will not get these orders. So then he gets. Now to reach this 40 is not easy. It takes a lot of efforts in terms of making it your brand better, your site better, making convenience as a factor for people to stick to you. Because you can get new customers, but if they don't come back, then this 40 doesn't add up. So you can't plan saying that, okay, I'm going to go to mainland China and say, boss, in 2 months I'm going to do 30% business for you. It's the restaurant also quality which matters. So this particular restaurant which I spoke about, 30%, his quality is good, he's delivering better. So obviously he's also doing his bit. And we are giving him convenience. So customers find our platform better and they like his food. So it's a perfect mix, and that's why we reached that stage. And there are a lot of restaurants that way across cities, wherein, so we're not pitching anything. We're just saying, so when we reach that stage, there's a lot of much more which you can do for them.
How do you scale on the consumer side?
Yeah.
And especially now you have money, you can run campaigns and do all that, so you can throw money at it.
Yeah.
But when you don't have money, when you are starting, when you are in the earlier stage, Lukha kind of,
Yeah.
so how did you come out of that? And then
So it took some time. You need money. Trust me, if you want the kind of scale we're doing right now, you need money. But initially, so money is not the answer to everything. But again, so we took 4 or 5 years to reach where we are. Initially, it was word of mouth. So it's a slow process. That's why we took so many years. So tasting in a 7-year-old company today. On 6th October, we celebrated 7 years. So we bootstrapped for 4 or 5 years. It was pure hard work in terms of going and meeting restaurants. And that time we had logistics. So one thing which worked very well was restaurants completely outsourced the delivery to us. So if you used to call a Malacca and say that I want food, this is a called Tasty Khana. Some of you may have ordered back then may remember that they used to do. So if someone has ordered earlier, so if you used to call the restaurant, they say we don't do delivery called Tasty Khana. Right, Tasty Khana call. So they used to come to know about us and become our online customers. So that's where it kind of started working. But these are very small numbers. But we kept our costs also low. So when we were bootstrapping, we were not spending so much money, and we were scaling up at a decent pace with organic growth. And we did our customers were in the restaurant. So our business model was we put up stickers in the restaurant, which costed like 1 rupee to put up a sticker. And we used to stand outside restaurants and talk to people. We used to co-brand the flyers. And we used to tell the restaurant, "Aap pay karo and commission mein kuch adjust kar lenge." So all this barter system is a typical way to do it. So it's word of mouth, barter systems, being creative. We don't have money you have to use your mind. यानी money doesn't come to everyone, but you have to be creative. You can't say that पैसे नहीं तो business नहीं चलाओगे. पैसे आएगा तो business बढ़ेगा, तो chicken and egg problem, and you